Good afternoon. I wanted to take a moment to provide the board with a sample of what we talked about yesterday. That is a public service announcement where we could disseminate information to our owners and members that complements what we're already doing. I think we discussed in the meeting yesterday that when we have information to put out, we generally try to provide the owners information in the form of either the monthly newsletter or email. We post it at the elevator lobbies and other places. But even with that, several of the people in attendance mentioned, not everybody has an email, not everybody's computer savvy, and from time to time, information is that is necessary for people to understand uh, specifics. Uh, not enough information isn't presented. So what I suggested is maybe we could also add to that by doing what we're calling a public service announcement. So I'm going to use this today as a sample of how that could be done. And I'll use one of the items we discussed yesterday, which was parking enforcement. Now, a few weeks ago, we received a newsletter, and in the newsletter, it indicated that since most of the new construction had been completed, that parking enforcement was going to now be in place. And that item was also discussed at a board meeting. And during the meeting, several of the members, including myself, indicated that we had had some experiences, very negative experiences, with the existing towing company. For example, I had one of my car was towed and it had a sticker on it. It's in a guest space, but somehow somebody made a determination that it was inoperable and never came to me and asked me any reason as to the why. And several other people indicated, situations where, hey, we're owners here, and why did we get our vehicle towed, et cetera. So the point is that we are trying to address parking in a way that's fair and equitable and effective for everybody. So one of the things that I suggested is we really kind of talk about our parking situation. We have three classes of parking here. We have parking by the people that are owners, and they have the proper sticker on the back of their car, and it's registered in the office, and they're parking in their designated parking space. And then we have people that are invitees or guests, and they come and park in guest spots. And if everybody was in a position to follow the rules strictly, they would have a parking card in their window indicating, hey, I'm a guest here. And then, of course, we have the people we're really trying to target, and that's the trespassing parker. And people that trespass when they park, we don't feel we have a lot of responsibility to try to reach out to them, but we still will try to be balanced in how we approach it. So the details are going to come out in a bit, but one of the things that we discussed yesterday is that now going forward, we're going to try to connect with the office and, let's say, even the towing company and the vehicle registration. So there'll be a better way to identify vehicles. And I think there's a consensus that we don't want to tow owner vehicles here unless we've made some kind of an effort to see, what there might be an issue. So if you're an owner and you have a sticker in your car, and for reasons that maybe you only know, you're parked in a spot that you shouldn't be, or you're parked in an area that says no parking. Well, I think what we agreed now is, first of all, address the issue with the parking, with the towing company. Some of them are very, what we call predatory. And the predatory ones are usually the ones that if you just give them a very narrow definition of what can be towed, they will go after it. And in particular, you can tell the predators usually are the ones that will come at 3 o'clock at night to tow vehicles. Why do they do that? Well, the statute in Florida says that if your vehicle's being towed, and let's say it's in an area that could be towed, if you catch them doing it, you can ask them to let the vehicle down. You still have to pay a fee, but it's not the $250 or $300. Usually predatory lenders, they're just waiting until 3 o'clock. And if the thing says, hey, no sticker in a spot, boom, they tow it. And we want to avoid that. We want to give the owners a benefit to say, look, maybe it's a special circumstance. So we're going to come up with some notice. I'm not clear if it's going to be a sticker that goes on the car, but something that gives up to 4 days is my understanding. We'll get that clarified when I do the updated version of this. But that will give our owners an opportunity to respond. And again, in some cases, it might be that they had an unexpected situation. They had to park there for whatever reason. Okay, so we give our owners a benefit of saying we're not trying to enforce parking to compel our owners to be strict adherers to the rules. It's, hey, we all realize we have a very tight parking situation, and let's cooperate and make sure that we are mindful of what they are. But the parking enforcement shouldn't be a way to punish the owners for not complying. And likewise, that would also apply to invitees or guests. Yes, we should have the guests with something indicating that they are a guest. But if they're parked in a guest space and they don't have the placard, and there could be reasons, somebody shows up unexpectedly one night, hasn't seen them in a long time, you have a late conversation, and at the end of the night, hey, why don't you spend the night? And you didn't think about in terms of, oh, did I put a placard in the window? And then you go out the next day and your guest car is towed. Well, why? Well, they were in a guest spot and they didn't have a placard in the window. So Predator Towing Company took it. We're going to try to address that to give everybody that's here as an invitee or as an owner an opportunity to respond, and the details of which will be provided in the future. But those people that are trespass parkers, and we all know that there are some people that on the fringes of the lot, or I was last night, I think somebody mentioned that they noticed that there was a house in the villas where nobody was there and the lights were off, and they observed people parking there and going across the street. And clearly those are the people that we want to enforce. And I don't know if we will still, in those instances, maybe give some notice, because again, there are times when you might want to afford someone the benefit. But one of the things that we can do with these public service announcements is kind of enlarge the discussion. Sometimes in newsletter, you're kind of limited to what can be said, and likewise in an email. So with this format, we can not only talk about parking and expand on what it is that we're trying to get accomplished, but also in other items that might come up that are worthwhile having more discussion about. So we're going to have the board review this, and if they think it's worthwhile, then I will produce a final one. And then we can also put it on the Facebook page, and it will also be available on YouTube. So then at that point, our owners will have at least 4 different ways to learn what's going on, which includes the newsletter and email, posting at the in the lobbies, and now this method here. So let me know what you think, board members, and we'll come up with another one next time. Thank you. This is Tim from Building 9, signing out. As soon as I remember how.